Hey, what's up everybody? This is Doster. This is going to be a long form video on basically just like analyzing the mystery hero meta, comparing it to the actual meta in the game for, this is currently season 6. So I'm going to take CarQ's system of like everything being okay and essentially just make like one adjustment. Basically, there is no like C tier characters in this game mode. There's a very bad category, and in this category goes characters you've never played and don't understand what their goal is. For a lot of players, it's going to be a lot of characters, right? But that's the fun of this game mode. It tests your ability to play the whole roster, and you don't have to play meta. You can't choose a meta comp. So basically, this is just like a little cheat sheet you can keep in your brain to say, okay, in this game mode, probably don't want X, Y, or Z character. So if I have a lot of those characters on that low tier on my team, maybe we just do a really quick fight and we reset and go next. So, couple more things, just want to get out of the way now. I'm gonna start streaming on YouTube, and you might be thinking, well, why do you, Doster, have a say on like competitive mystery heroes in general? Like, what makes your voice so important? Well, I am currently ranked 2 in the mode in NA, which doesn't say much. This is not the standard comp game mode where everybody plays. This is not the main game mode. This is a side thing. So there are better players that are better at the whole roster than me that just don't play this game mode. But I've been grinding this game mode, and I know lots of the ins and outs, and so I would say I have a pretty good intuition of what the good characters are, what the meta characters are. Yeah. I'm also a regular old top 500 tank player, and I've been top 500 on DPS and support in the last couple of seasons, so I know most of the roster. I understand what like the goal is, but I pride myself on being a coach, so I'd like to say I also know how you guys, the standard audience, would interact with this game mode. I'm going to start streaming on YouTube, so feel free to join me there. I'm going to start streaming. I'm grinding for rank 1 in this game mode. Then I'm going to go back because apparently horse isn't meta. I took a break. This is what the game mode's for. If you're a competitive player who loves Overwatch and you love playing competitive, but there's a meta you don't really like, this gets rid of that problem altogether. Like, I played horse for 12 hours. I got my 50 wins, and I was like, I don't want to play competitive anymore. So I started grinding this mode. And this mode has high highs and low lows. You'll definitely have games where you don't have supports and you lose 3 fights in a row as they have triple tank, 2 supports, Life Weaver. Every time you're about to kill something, it gets grabbed and you can't dive to switch. Like, that's what you'll see in this game mode is a lot of the time characters that are bad in the main game mode get away with so much more in this one because you can't just switch to the obvious counter. Like Pharah, Echo, like they get away with so much if the enemy team doesn't have a hit scan, right? Which there's a lot of the cast is a hit scan, but like there's still that chance. Tanks are really good in this mode, but like DPS are very good as well. Like, and supports are like the necessity. So we'll get into it. And as we go on, I'm just gonna give you like my mindset of like, okay, when I get this character or when my teammates get this character, do I like seeing this character pop up? Are there situations that I don't like seeing this character pop up? Is there times when, oh goodness, please give me this character? Like, that would put them higher rank as opposed to lower rank. Like, if you're like just like sitting there praying to God that you get Kiriko because you have Hog. You have 2 Hogs on your team and they have 2 Anas, and all you need is a Kiriko and you just win. Like, that probably pushes Kiriko up this list, like, more than if you don't have those characters, right? Everything is flexible. Everything is changing all the time. It's why this is a very fun game mode. Like, it's very relaxing compared to actual comp. Sometimes you're at the whimsy of the game, though. Sometimes you're just going to lose. That's just how this game mode is. But sometimes you're just going to win. So if you go into it with that mindset of, like, one in 6 games, I'm just going to lose, and there's nothing I'm going to be able to do about it. My teams aren't going to get supports. They're going to have triple tank, two supports. Just let it happen to me. Go next. Because once every 6 games, you're that team too. You're the winning team in that scenario. Every 1 in 6 games. So about 1/3 of this game mode is just a wash, and then that other 2/3 is where this stuff matters. Where understanding, okay, I need to jump off the map to save this character right now. Understanders matters a lot. Understanding when, like, okay, we need to just go in and die, and we need to try to die to this character so they don't build their ult. Because ults in this game mode are very, very... you lose them when you die. You lose 25% because you switch to another character. So you keep 25% of your ult, but, like, normally you have to win, like, a fight and a half to play and get your ultimate. So ults are, like, rare. They're the forbidden fruit. This game mode is about steamrolling. You wanna kind of int. If you don't immediately cap, you want to int until you get a team comp that you can sustain long enough to build ults and then go in, because the enemy team won't have ults. Because if you're trading, let's say, but your one guy stays alive, you're the one who stays alive because you understand the game better than the opponents. This is why I love this game mode. Like, it rewards you for understanding every character's win con better than your opponent. And most of the time, it's easier opponents. Like, you don't have to play. Like, the Pharah you're playing against isn't Yazan. It's not the one-trick Pharah that ruins the ladder. No offense. I love Yazan. He's hard to play against, right? You're playing against Joe Schmo, who's a Lucio main, right? Instead of Yazan on Pharah. Like, the Lucio main is on Joe Schmo is on Pharah, and so that, like, can you outplay Joe Schmo on Pharah? Probably, if you understand Pharah, right? So it rewards you for understanding every character's win con and how to counter. Yeah. That being said, like I said, if you can play your life at any point and you can live 99% of the time, except for, like, certain characters like Widowmaker, your ult's high value. Like, just outright better than ults in the actual game. Like, way better. Because half the time people don't expect it, because about 3 to 4 ults go off per game in this game mode. In standard games. Sometimes teams will get, like, big tanky teams with big supports, and they'll get a bunch of, like, they'll cycle and stuff. But most of the time it's about 3 to 4 ults per game. So if you can be getting 4, adding a 5th one, adding a 6th one, because you understand, like, the game better, that's huge. Okay, so we're going to just start off with Bastion. I'm just going to go in the order that is popping up here. Bastion right now is strong in the probably A S tier, A plus S tier in the actual game. In this game mode, he's better. Bastion is a very noob-friendly character, and they shouldn't have buffed him to where he is. And now he's going to destroy all modes where you can't pick Diva, where you can't pick Orisa. If you don't have Orisa, if you don't have Zarya, if you don't have Diva, mostly Diva, Orisa, Sig. If you don't have those 3 characters, and you're playing the Bastion, you win. Like, if they don't, like, especially if you get Zarya, a Diva, something that can pocket you. That being said, also pocket your Bastion, right? Like, right now. You want to take your chip damage, wait until they swing into the open space, and then once they're in the open, pop your form. The form gives you 50 armor, which is essentially like 70 HP because of the 30% extra HP it gives you, essentially, armor. So yeah, pop your form and mow things down. If they have Diva, you have to just wait for her to use her cooldowns, wait for her to be out of position. This is not the best Diva in the world. You can bait form. I'm playing at the highest level of this game. There aren't any good Divas good enough to just, like, that you can outplay in this elo. In the actual game, sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, there are players, like, you can't outplay their DM. You can't. They're just going to eat your form. They're going to save their entire being for you as the Bastion, but not in this game mode. In this game mode, there aren't any of those players. There aren't any of those Orisa players, and even if somebody gets D.Va, like, they're not gonna, you can bait it out. So how you bait it out, you do things like shoot the D.Va. You get behind your wall, you peek out as the Bastion, peep, 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 on repeat with your primary fire, not your form. You throw your right click, make them use defense matrix, push them until their armor's gone, or like half their HP total, until they can't really commit onto you, and you're far away from them, and then you just swing. You pop your form, you walk into the open, and you go, and you mow everything down. Bastion's very good in this game mode, better than he is in the actual game mode. He preys on chaos and people not knowing like how to get behind cover in time, and like no matter how good you are at the entire cast, you don't know every single character's like movement in order to get behind the wall in less than that, because that's what Bastion does. He kills you in that. Which brings me to the opposite end of the spectrum. Widowmaker. Again, same thing. You'd think she'd be really good, right? Oh, they don't have tanks, necessarily. If they have tanks, right, you're just gonna get zoned either way. But unlike the actual game, where Widow's probably like an A character, who if you're good on Widow, you can just carry the game, right? In this game mode, like, you're not the good Widow, right? If you're a Widow like one trick type player, like, you're probably not playing this. If you're a good Widow, Widow can be up here. If you can click every head in the actual game, this character goes from here to here. But if you can't click every head in the actual game where there's a tank, this character is terrible. You want to, if you have no supports, there's a type of character in this game mode that includes every character you're bad at, to some extent. There's some characters like Bastion, even if you're a bad Bastion player, like, you're going to get value out of the character. But if you're a bad Widow player, you're not going to get value. It's a high skill floor character. You have to be a certain par in order to even start playing Widowmaker, right? So if you can't play Widow, you have no confidence in yourself, and you don't have supports, and you're on first point defense midtown, and you load into the game, you're on defense on midtown, you have no supports, 3 tanks, go gambling, die in their spawn, walk into their spawn, wait for the door to open, hold your scope at the corner right next to their door, try to be hidden, wait as the big people pass you, bink, try to kill someone. Try to insta-kill somebody in spawn, they're gonna kill you. You're gambling. If you get the kill, that's awesome, right? You've traded yourself out. If you don't get the kill, you've re-rolled. You either get a support or someone who can maybe sustain themselves. You get what I'm saying? There's a certain type of character that's like that in this game mode. And in some cases, if like you play and it's like 3-3 on Midtown, it's that same thing except for you have a minute on the clock and they have a minute and 10 seconds on the clock, and you go to defense and you don't have a support, run it down, brother. This character, somebody's got to run it down. You have to gamble. Knowing when to gamble is the important part. So yeah, Widow, if you're good at Widow, she can be good if they don't have tanks. But if they have tanks, even if you're good at Widow, they can have 5 tanks. And you get no value. So that would put her here. In my opinion, she's fine. I'm going to put her in fine. If you're not good at Widow, there's a certain subset of characters that if you're not good at them, just go in and die. If you're on offense in that same game, you start on Midtown on offense, grapple in it, look for a hook shot, and fall into their blade and die. Your team might flame you. Try to explain it. I can't play Widow. I'm just going to gamble for a support. Or a tank, if that's what's necessary. Okay, next is Cass. Cass is good. Cass is probably mid, honestly. He's like here in the actual game. Cass is like an A tier character in this for similar reasons to Bastion. He punishes people being out of position even more than Bastion in some situations. Like, if they have ball and you have Cass, you can just throw your E at him and it hacks him. And the ball dies. Because they don't know how to play around Magnade. Like, I'm a top 500 actual tank player, and I die to Magnade, right? On ball, when I play ball. Ball's a bad character in general right now. But you get what I'm saying? Like, Magnade punishes people who think they know the character. They're like, oh, I'm Genji. I know what Genji does. He can dash away. So I'm going to go this far. Magnade, oh, I've never had this interaction before where I'm playing Genji, because I rarely play Genji in like the actual game, right? I've never had this interaction happen, and Magnade is new. Oh crap, I'm dead, right? So Magnade, very good. Very good ability. Also, people don't really understand like how to play around Cass's like range. You can really easily outrange him, but like I was saying before, there's not many players in this game mode that can just play Widow and click the heads. Yeah, if you're good at Cass, he's really good. That's how this game mode works, by the way. If you're an S tier at this, if your best character is any of these characters, play that character. Don't run it down. Play for your life. Play for your ult. Play for next fight. Don't die point in some cases. Like, walk out. Live. If it's your best character. Let your team re-roll and look for their best characters. Like, that's one win con. The other win con is characters like D.Va. D.Va is an S tier character. She's top 3 tank in the actual game right now, in my opinion. Maybe top 2. Depends on who you ask. If they understand that D.Va actually counters Zarya in the actual game. We're not getting into that right now. That's its own separate video. But D.Va's really good in this. There's 2 characters for the most players who are scary to D.Va, and that's this character, Echo, and this character, Zarya, and maybe Symmetra. You can really outpace 2 of those characters, Sim and Zar. So, how you play D.Va in this, unless they have Echo, then you have to be a little bit safer, is you DM your damage dealers, your big win cons, and then you look for insta-kills with your micro missiles. And you're just bigger and better than every tank on the field. You're bigger and outside of Orisa. You're bigger and better than every character. You have more effective HP than every character in this game mode, minus Orisa, because you have half of your HP is armor. So you have like 600 HP, but 300 is armor, or 550 HP, but half of that is armor, and half of that is regular health. In the top half, stay in that armor health, and you win. Like, D.Va is a you win character. If you don't have supports, and this fight's over, fly away. Like, fly out, wait for your team. Reroll for support. Go look for megas. Good character. Genji. If you're good at Genji, he's good. That's how this game mode works. If you're good at Genji, he's good. He's like top tier maybe. If you're not good at Genji, and this is one of my worst characters. This game mode is shining a light that I didn't know I had. I pride myself on being good at all the characters. Like, that's why I feel like I'm ranked 2 in this game mode. It's because I understand every character a lot. This is shining a light on my Genji play. My Genji play is bad. Something's off. I need to VOD review that. So I might rate him lower than most people. But a lot of people have a lot of playtime on Genji. Like, if you don't play DPS, you've probably played Genji, right? If you play support or tank, most players play like Genji. So, I see a lot of people managing to get Blade. So, it's something with me. He's one of my very bad characters, which makes him very bad. That's this game mode. I'm a top 2 player in this game mode, and I can't play this character. So, he goes in D tier, very bad for me. So, yeah, I'd say for most players, he's average though. Hanzo, same thing as Widow, except for Hanzo's just a better, easier character. You get free value with Sonar, you get free value by clicking E and bouncing things and getting damage. Dragon kills. Dragon Strike kills in this game mode because the tanks don't know how to eat it. Everybody's uncomfortable. That's the main thing about this game mode. Most players in this game mode are on a character they're uncomfortable on. So you get to do things that like you got to do in 2016 Overwatch, where you, the bad Genji player, gets to get a 4-man blade because your team doesn't know how to position because they've never played the characters they're on. Like, it's so fun, this game mode, because of stuff like that. But yeah, his ult's good in this game mode because of that. You just, if you know where they're about to go, throw your ult there and you will get a kill. In my elo, that happens. And that does not happen in the actual game. Like, at top 500, people do not die to Dragon Strike. It is a joke of an ultimate. And this game mode is pretty good. People don't know where they're supposed to position. Alright, next up, Junkrat. This character is very strong. Who would have thought? Like, an easy skill floor, low skill floor, easy to get value out of character is good. If you don't understand Junkrat, you do. Throw your mines at them. Spam the choke. You'll get value. That being said, if you are in that situation where you don't have a support, Junkrat also has this thing where his passive can assassinate people, right? So, if you don't understand Junkrat, right, and or your team like needs a support and you're in that mid-town situation, easy insta-kill, easier than hitting the one shot on Widowmaker. Primary fire, throw your mine, right click. Boom, insta-kill. And then walk in. Like, stack on top of them. Be inside of them in their spawn. And they kill you. He has a passive that kills them. It's crazy. Like, you get big value. If you're bad at Junkrat and you get him and you're on defense, go spawn camp. Get insta-kill. Get insta-killed yourself. You get the reroll. You get to get off the character. It's good. Zarya, in the actual game, she's a top 3 tank right now. Maybe. Debatable. She's very good with Bastion. But in this game mode, Zarya is a support. I know. Crazy. She only has 325 HP. She is squishy as freaky. She will die. If they have damage, she will die. Do not bubble yourself. Here's how you play Zarya in this game mode. You sit around the corner like you're an Ana, and you bubble your teammates. They build you charge, you peek and you right click, you peek and you right click, you peek and you right click, you enable. Zarya is an enabler. She's going back to being an off tank in this game mode. It's great. She's an off tank. Like, if you have any of the actual tanks, including D.Va now, like, D.Va's a main tank in this game mode. More than Winston. Which is weird. Like, what she wants to do is take the space aggressively. They've retooled her, right? She can be played as an off tank, that being said. You can play to support your other characters, support your other tanks. But yeah. Zarya, 100% in this game mode. You will die if you try to be the DPS Zarya. Plus, they just hard boosted her to have the 8-second cooldown. You get 45 charge for bubbling your teammates instead of the 40 that you get for yourself. And it's an 8-second cooldown. You get 4, 5, 6 bubbles of fight by just bubbling your team. Bubble the divers, bubble the other tanks, bubble your supports. Keep everybody alive. The fights will last longer. You don't even have to worry about, like, getting high value. You are a scary light bulb. Everybody knows to respect the Zarya if she has full charge. So just bubble your teammates, get the full charge. Wait, if they come at your teammates, like, if you bubble your Reaper, let's say, they break the bubble and he has to wraith back towards your team, then you can pressure them with the 45 charge they just gifted you, right? And again, people aren't comfortable on their characters, meaning they're going to break bubbles. You're going to get high charge. Don't worry about whether or not you're going to get high charge. Live and learn. This game mode is about learning a bunch. So live and learn on the Zara too. Alright, next character, Lucio. Honestly, not good in this game mode. He's pretty good. He's like an A tier character, maybe this. In the actual game, he's pretty bad in this game mode. Unless you have the standard like brawl comp, then he's good. And you have another support. The problem with this is people don't know how to wall ride. Just stay alive and healing. You'll build beat. Like that is so counterintuitive unless you're with a coordinated high-level team of real players, because there's some like in my game sometimes we use Lucio correctly. In top 2 mystery hero lobbies, sometimes we use Lucio correctly. Most of the time he's a heal bot, you amp heal, you build beat. Crazy. It's not how you actually play the character. You can play him like that in this, and then he gets up to beat. He's okay. He's easy healer. If you have 3 tanks and an Ana, go for it. Play the regular brawl. Do it. Otherwise, if you're an okay Lucio, don't try to Reddit, just amp healing. And you will build beats. Because Lucio is not designed in a way that like you're supposed to build beat, but you can. And it catches people off guard who know the game. And if you're catching the people who understand the game on the enemy team off guard, that's very good. High value plays. Plus, in this game mode, you're not guaranteed a support. That's the other part of Lucio. So if you get a support and it's Lucio and you're just like, okay, we have solo Lucio healing. It's like, okay, that sucks, man. Amp heals. Just do it. Don't amp speed. Just play defensive. People might flame you. That's my suggestion. Otherwise, he's a bad character. Because you're just going to have 3 DPS and a support. And what are you amping at that point? Like, okay, you're amping the Reaper around into their double defense matrix Weaver, right? Just build beat, you win a fight. Next character, Mercy. Mercy is very good in this game. She's an easy character, high skill value for low... Like, if you don't understand Mercy, you get value. That's the characters that are good in this game. Just hold left click, build Valk, stay alive. Her movement's easy, it's on a 2-second cooldown. You can never be out of position for more than 2 seconds, that means. And it's a fast movement. You can definitely die in that 2 seconds, but compared to these other characters like Genji, a lot easier. And don't be afraid to blue beam your big damage. Your Zarya is full HP. Your Zarya has full charge. Blue beam her. Blue beam is amazing. Also communicate with your players. You get Mercy, be like, who is good at their character? And then go pocket that person because they build their ult. They understand their character's win con more than anybody else in the lobby maybe, and you're damage boosting them. Even if it's not a standard one, like, oh, we're gonna pocket the Teir because this is a Teir player who got Teir. Like, I pocket Tracers even when I get Mercy. Because if the player plays Tracer, communicate, ask, and then pocket them as much as you can. Oh, that's an opportunity. They're going for the one clip, I damage boost them. They can actually hit that, and maybe they're a mid Tracer, but they main Tracer, they understand, they'll live. So you can just damage boost them. Big value. Mei. Mei is a good character. She has self-healing for when you don't have healers. She's an off tank in the DPS category. She has easy damage at both ranges. She's easy to apply pressure with. Look for your walls. Look for your freezes. The way freeze works is you have to build it up, and then when they have that little frozen thing, they're like slowed. You can melee them or you can right click them, and it'll cash in like that big burst of damage. That's how it works now. Don't worry about it too much. Play Mei the way that you've always played Mei, unless you're a troglodyte who ran it down and tried to fully freeze people. It doesn't work like that anymore. You should be able to build Blizzard because you have that self-heal. You can play passive. Play like I suggested to play Zarya. Play like that, except for you're using your wall and your ice block and stuff to block people. Build your ult. Yep, good character, very strong. Probably above Junkrat. I don't know if I'm ordering this yet. Let's see. Oh, another good thing about this character, Mercy. Oh yeah, Mercy is the best support in this game mode. Second best. Mercy has this thing called I click E around a corner and I undo the person who was uncomfortable on the Bastion. I undo them throwing, right? I undo it by clicking One button. If I know how to click that one button around the corner, I undo this person's mistake, which lets them keep their ult charge, lets them learn and improve, stay the character longer, because when you're uncomfortable on Bastion, let's say, and you extend and you're like, oh, I can get that kill, and you can't get that kill, and you die for it, and you're like, oh, okay, I couldn't get that kill. And then you get res, it's like, you have that in your brain already. Like, you have, like, okay, I can't go that far, but I can go just before that. And now you have that Mercy with you. It's crazy. It's a very good character. It saves ultimates. It wins games. Mercy's great. Falc wins team fights, and it's very easy to stay alive as Mercy and build. Pharah, better. She's like a B tier character in the actual game. She's better in this game, but not by much because there's so many hit scans in the game. Plus, D.Va is really good, and Divas tend to stay alive a lot too, and they get knocked out of mech, and then people don't kill the baby, and then she gets remech, and then by then she has bomb, and then she can bomb her next life. Also, Divas don't use bomb aggressively. I know I've been saying all these things about ultimates getting more kills than they normally do. You can get a 6-man bomb, but think about it like this. You're the best, tankiest character in this game, outside of Orisa. You have an insta-kill. You can hold right-click in a general area to deny a whole team's damage for like 10 seconds. You get a second life with bomb. It's like res, right? It's like the Mercy res. You use bomb as a second life. You wait until you get demeched and then you click E, Q. And sometimes you're gonna get killed immediately after. That's okay. That's on average, if you do what I just suggested, you will, like, D.Va might be your most time played on a character. Just based off of that. Don't bomb. Try to build your mechs as baby. Just play back, spam the choke, wait for your mech. This is a character you want to keep as long as possible. Use bomb as a second life. Reaper. Reaper is easy. Hold left click simulator. Unlike Karq has this take that I 100% agree with. Reaper has been meta a couple of times in Overwatch 2, and it only lasts like a week. And it's like, why is that? He's a simple character, and for that reason, he's boring. That's Karq's take, and I 100% agree with it. Reaper is pretty good, and has been for the majority of Overwatch. Everything that Tracer has, he has, but slightly weaker, and Tracer's been really good this entire time. Right? Overwatch 2, at least. Same thing with Reaper. Reaper's been good this entire time, at least an 8 strong character at all times. There's not been a Pharah meta. There's not been a... Yeah. Good character. Plus your ult's gonna get kills in this, when it doesn't in the actual game. So yeah. Great character. It's hard to go wrong. Hard to get 0 value on the character. Reinhardt, another character. Pretty easy. Which makes him good in this game. Yeah. Reinhardt's pretty easy. If you're bad at Rein, you can still get ping kills. You can still hold right click. You can still click E in their general direction and deal 100 damage to players like with... Yeah, is a good character. Roadhog. Roadhog in the actual game is very bad. He's the worst character in the actual game right now. By a long shot, actually. I was thinking about people that can contest him. No, he's the worst character in the game right now. By a long shot. By like 2 tiers. In this, he's pretty good. He's got really good sustain. He's got hard counters, but they can't pick them. They can't swap Ana. You know? They can't swap D.Va. They can't swap Bastion. Yeah? You get me? You just throw your hook at the... And plus, they're going to overextend. Yeah, this character is good. This character is maybe top of A tier. A plus tier. Very strong. Throw the hook at the choke. Click E when you get dealt damage. Pretty easy. High value. Spam right clicks. Don't go for left clicks. Don't go for the shotgun one. Stay at a distance. Spam your right clicks. Swing in and out of the corner. Bink, bonk, bink, bonk. Look for damage. Look for damage at range. Then look for hook. Hook kills. Like, Hog punishes people for being in open space. That's his character. He's always been that way. He's probably going to change mid-season 7 to not be that way. He's still that way in the actual game. He's very bad in the actual game because the current characters are like Horse, who just don't, right? They just can say no. On top of him not being able to, like, kill things. So he's just bad. He has no mobility, yeah. But people know how to punish that in this game mode. Very good. Very good character. You can take out their alpha threat very easily if he's out of position once. Their Czar's out of position. Hooker. Right click, break bubble instantly. Hooker. Yeah. Soldier. Strong character. Very good. All around just a better hit scan than like Cass probably. Soldier's probably the best hit scan in this game mode for most players. Do I actually think that? Yeah, because he has self-heal, he has legs, his movement's very easy to understand. He's a very easy to understand character who has that right click that threatens, right? You can't necessarily like dive as like Tracer, a soldier. If you're uncomfortable on Tracer and they're uncomfortable on Soldier, Soldier comes out on top. In the actual game, where people aren't uncomfortable because they know the characters in their pool, that doesn't happen, right? If you're good at Soldier, you can just live. You never die. You click E. You run away. You beam things down at range. He has very little fall off. Sim is good. She's a good character. For DPS. She's good. She's not bad. She's not, like, yeah. Your turrets are going to get big value. People aren't going to shoot them. They're not, the Lucios on their team aren't going to know that that's their job. People in the actual game don't know that that's Lucio's job, you know? So, you're going to get value. Your wall will probably build. If they have triple tank, Sim's pretty good. You know? You get to heal off of the shields. Pretty good. Torb, even better. Torb is one of the best DPS in this game mode. Click E, live longer, place your turret, free value, spam the choke, molten core. Pretty good. Tracer, pretty bad. She's very good in the actual game mode. You're going to die. If you are uncomfortable on Tracer, you aren't. Listen. Hear what I'm about to say. If you are diamond below and you main Tracer, you're probably still going to die in this game mode. You die a lot in the actual game mode. Otherwise, you wouldn't be diamond, right? Or below. So, yeah, good character. In the actual game. In this game, she's fine. She's like, okay. Same thing as Widow. She's a glass cannon, just like Widow. If you know how to play Tracer, you're going to get value. Right? If you don't know how to play her, you're uncomfortable on her, you don't know exactly how to one-clip somebody, you don't know how to, like, force out cooldowns before going in, you're not gonna get much value. Try to one-clip somebody and spawn in the Midtown situation. Echo, very difficult character. Quite possibly the most, no. By the very definition, because her ult copies, she has the most skill ceiling in the game. Because her ult takes every character. Right? So every other character's skill ceiling gets added on top of hers. That being said, spam the choke. Wait to beam things until they're half HP. If they get that God comp where they've got 3 tanks, two Orissas and a Zarya and a Weaver and a Lari, oof. You're probably not going to get value, but this is your, like, one win con, is getting Echo and knowing how to beam something down from half HP. Just look to punish things with beam. Yeah. That's it. Don't go over aggressive. She's pretty bad for that same reason. These are characters that, like, you have to be good. You have to be a specialist to understand them, let's say. Yeah. Winston, bad. Bad character. Very bad. Possibly the worst tank. Yeah, the worst tank. Ball is easier to get value on in this game mode. Doom is easier to get value on in this game mode. Winston, because here's how this works. If you don't play Winston, you don't understand, like, how not to die. On regular Winston with more HP, in this game mode, you're just going to explode. if you don't know how to play Winston at a very high level, you're going to explode. And if you're like a master's play on Winston, you're still going to explode because your play is not perfect. A perfect Winston in the actual game probably doesn't take much damage. Can probably be very good. It's the same Winston. Winston's like A tier in the actual game. So if you're a perfect Winston player, you're A tier. Everyone else, like masters, low GM players, you're going to insta-pop and explode like a little grape. You're not gonna live because you're just gonna go in and be like, I'm Winston Overwatch. And then you're gonna explode because he has 400 HP and can't deal damage. You're like, what the frick? Why is this character ever meta? This guy does no damage. It's because that like tankiness and a bunch of other things. But essentially, you're gonna explode like a grape. He's a bad character in this game. I'm a good Winston player. I know how to juggle. I know how to like bubble weave. I've been top 100 Winston during Winston metas. Like, I have difficulty playing him. Even for me, right? He's a bad character in general right now. But like, bad isn't like A tier. Overwatch is a very balanced game. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. But yeah, he's an A tier character right now, and he's like F. Honestly, we'll see if I change this later. This is F tier. Like, it goes from B to you can't play this character. Like, just go in and die. Like, if I get Winston, I jump in and die. And I'm a top 500 player, so, you know. I'm a top 500 tank player who can play Winston. And has, at points, said Winston is my main. Zen negates 30% of a player's HP pool, but he's a glass cannon. In the actual game, he's pretty good. Maybe just A tier in the actual game. In this game mode, he's good. Probably above Lucio. Put your orb on something. Solo Zen. Zen is a DPS. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Alari came and did it too. Zen is the DPS. He was first. He still is. Alari just does over 120 HPS healing per second, but like, let's ignore that. Zen does so little. If you have solo heal Zen, you don't have a healer, by the way, if you didn't know. So, yeah. Orb of Discord negates 30% of their HP pool. It's a very good character if you have 2 tanks and 2 supports, or 1 big heal pump support, like Ana or Moira, and then you have the Zen and they have tanks. Just put the orb on the tank and they die, right? Orb your flanker. If you have flankers, good luck. He's an okay character. Ram, very good in this game mode. I want to put him... I'm going to put him... He's more dependent than these characters. I want to put this guy in here. He's more dependent than these characters, right? He's... Like, these 2 tanks are definitely better. There's like a slight gap between Zarya and him because Zarya can be played in basically any comp. If you don't have a high healing output like thing, yeah. He's like Rein but better. He has a poke phase and Rein doesn't. That's kind of just Ram in general, is Rein but better. But here's the problem, is he suffers from the same thing that Rein does. That's why I roofed Rein down. If you don't have a Life Weaver who can pump a bunch of heals, a Moira who can pump a bunch of heals, like, you can't play these characters. Ram has a poke phase, which is better, and he also can regen health, kind of, by clicking shift. So if you get low, you can pop shift and you have like 200 something armor, so you get to live longer. He's like easier Reinhardt in this game mode. Alright, Ana, S tier character. She's good in general. Lots of player. Everyone has playtime on Ana. I've never met a person who's never played Ana that wasn't a 100% one trick. You're a tank player who's played support 1 time, you played Ana. You're a DPS player who's played support 2 times or 1 time, you've played Ana. Don't lie. Ana has... Everybody has playtime on Ana, so she's good. She has easy to hit nades in this game mode when the tanks don't know what they're doing. Big nades. Dead. You can't heal? Die. That Ana is like Echo, except for like in that she can kill that god comp, except for Ana does it way easier. Just click E in their general direction when they don't have a matrix up, and they die. Yeah, that's all I need to say about Ana. Yeah, lots of healing for your team, big plays, easy character. Easy is you get value no matter what skill level you are on Ana. Horse, she has a matrix. She has survivability. She can heal herself. She can go up in HP. She has 4,000 billion armor and 8 cooldowns, and her ultimate also does that. She's a very good character. I'm gonna put her above D.Va. She's the best character in this game mode, I think. Yep. Actually, no. I lied, but we'll get to that. She's the best tank in this game mode. Yeah. If you get a horse, just throw out cooldowns, you'll get value. If you know how to play a horse, you win the game. Easy as that. Sombra. I'm a very good Sombra. Sombra is one of my best characters. She's one of my favorite characters. I hate her. That being said. Yeah. I hate her from like a design perspective, but I love stealth style of play, like the spy from Team Fortress. I want them to fix the character. I wish it was just fun to play with and against. EMP, if you can build it, wins a fight instantly. She's one of my lowest win rate characters in this game mode. I don't understand why. I feel like I win on her. Here's the thing, you don't die on her. If you know basic, if you're a plat Sombra player and you know I put my translocator down, then I walk in and then they deal some damage, and as long as I get some of my damage and maybe I don't get a kill, and I hack their tank and then I leave and I undo my death. You're gonna build EMP, but you're also not gonna get value probably. Like, I don't know. Because you're more than likely going to build 70-80% of EMP and then die. So like that gets rid of your value as a character. So she goes in the fine tier. This is like the tier of like let's call this C. And let's say must be a specialist, which is the nice way of saying you have to be good at them. Yeah. And then let's reorganize this tier a little bit. Actually, this tier, this is just going to be this is not going to be a tier. This is like, you don't want these characters unless you know how to play them. And then below that is you don't want to play them. Okay, so yeah, next is Doom. So Doom goes here. You get value out of Doom. Just punch. You're gonna stun things. You're gonna click E. You're gonna build your, like, low-key, in this game mode, Doom is like an easier version of Winston. In the actual game, nowhere near. If you're bad at Doom, you're still gonna get value. You're gonna have a good time. That's the other part of this. This is not like, this is a meta tier list. Like, this is not based on fun you're going to have on these characters. This is going to, well, low-key winning is kind of fun, but you get what I'm saying. This is like you must be a specialist character. Moira, very good. Easy. Healing, easier than Ana healing, but you're not going to make plays. Except for you are, because divas don't know how to play around you. And you're just going to slowly pest their way at them, and they're going to lose their mech. And D.Va is one of the best characters in the game, and if you can demech her, big value. Right? You're going to build Cole. You can survive forever because you have Fade that you can go invisible and just fly away. Yeah, don't throw your damage orbs if you're the only support. If you have 3 supports on your team, go DPS mode. You're a DPS now. You get to change roles. You know? You're a better DPS than their Genji because your character's easy and they don't know how to play Genji. Yep. Brig. Man. I wish people knew how to play Brig in the actual game. like, Brig is a good character in the actual game. People just don't understand how Inspire works. They don't know, like, how to manage packs. It's like an easy character, but no one wants to play it, right? Like, if Brig was fun and didn't have the stigma of ew Brig, which I ignore that stigma, and so I have fun on Brig. I enjoy a good Brig. Now that she's like a real balanced character in the game, she was trash before, and before that she was too good, right? And now she's like an actual character, but people don't want to play her. She has the lowest pick rate in the game. So like, the Brigs you're playing against don't know how to play Brigs. You probably don't know how to play Brigs, so I'm going to teach you. And then she becomes an A tier character. Listen to me teach you. It's going to take 20 seconds. If you get Brig, pack people when they're low. Only when you see the diamond that says critical. That means they're below half HP. Pack people then, unless you're between fights. Then you pack them. That's how you manage packs. That's it. Everything else, the rest of your healing, you can solo heal as Brig even in this game mode if you have Inspire procced all the time. You proc Inspire with every way of dealing damage. Including during your ultimate you can proc Inspire. Bash, procs Inspire. Whip, procs Inspire. Your default swing, procs Inspire. If you have Inspire procced all the time, it lasts for like 3 seconds every time you proc it. So proc it, pump healing, pump healing, pump healing, pump healing, and it's over. Then you have to proc it again. Very consistent, very easy, very big circle, way bigger than you're thinking, like old Lucio type of like zone, very big circle. Look for your whips. If you whip people who are out of position, you're going to deal lots of damage, you're going to get big value. You have an insta-kill on this character, on some characters, like you can insta-kill Tracer, you can almost insta-kill Genjis when they dive you. You're a tank when you use your ult, you're a tank against certain DPS, right? If you can't burn shield in less than 3 seconds, you're a tank to them, right? You can tank that, and you can kill them. Yeah. Look for your whips. You win games. And I just went and took her out of this to that on my own tier list. Like, if you listen to what I just said and you do that, she is now a very strong character. Probably, yeah, she's a very strong character. She's the only support and very strong. There's a big gap. At least right now. We might add one there in a minute. Yep. Yep, that's it. That's all of Brig. And then click Q and look for bashes. You get value. If you're running Rhine and the Rhine is going in, go in with him. Just don't overextend. Use your oh, this is the other thing. Bash is a movement cooldown. If you're not going to use it for your insta-kill, you're not bashing the enemy. You will die. You are bashing away from the enemy. It is your movement cooldown. Bash away, turn around, whip shot. Easy. Big hitbox on whip shot, by the way. Ball. Specialist. Except for he's easier than Doom because you click E when you roll through them and they're bunched up because people don't know how to play their characters in this game mode. So they're going to bunch up because it's human nature to stay close to your tribe. So yeah, people are gonna bunch up, you're gonna get big massive E, you're gonna get big massive slam, you're gonna get mines pretty fast. If you're semi-competent ball, roll through them, click E. Wait for your roll cooldown. Wait for your E cooldown maybe. Roll through them again. Wait for your shields to regen. Look for the mega. Roll through them again. You have mines. That's it. Like, that's this character. Mines win a team fight. Yep. Don't look for all the tech. Don't look to kill people with your guns. Roll through them. And he's about as good as Ryan doing that. Unironically. That playstyle, good as Ryan. If you're good at ball, he's a good character. Same thing with everybody in this VM mode. I need to stop saying that. Ashe is like Widow in that she's like a specialist character, but she's got dynamite. And Bob wins the game. Maybe what the playstyle of Ashe in this game mode, if you don't know how to play Ashe, is build Bob, because Bob wins the game. So what I'm gonna suggest you do is throw your dynamite, don't move your crosshair from around a corner, and explode it on, just like I said, they're grouped up for ball, they're grouped up for dynamite. 1 5-man dynamite later, 2 5-man dynamites later, we have Bob. Wow. Click Bobbin. He's a turret that does more damage than anything else in the game, and he's your only teammate that can aim. He's your only teammate that can aim. He wins team fights. You can win if you do what I just said on... She's like just about as good as Cass. Same reasons. Very different reasons. Neither of them are good for their hit scan capabilities in this game mode because people... Like, if you can hit scan, right, and you're good at hit scan, these characters go up. That's just how everything in this game mode works. But on average, if you're an average Ashe player that like doesn't play Ashe, right? She's a good character. Just look for your dynamites, look for Bob. He's your only teammate. Best character in the game, ding 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 ding, it's Bap. Click shift, even after the nerfs, the Bap nerfs, he's still insane. Click shift. Click shift, you build window, you win. Click Q, you can solo window and kill things. You're the best DPS in the game with window. Plus you have a more easy character, easy to hit heals, easy to hit damage, lots of heals, immortality field. One of the best ultimates in this game because people don't know how to play around the cover because they're used to, oh, I'm going to stand behind my Reinhardt, but I don't have a Reinhardt. I'm going to walk in. Oh, wait, the Bap window. Oh, wait, I can't get to cover in time. Oh, wait, I had my ultimate. You just won. Bap wins games. He's the best character in this game. He supports all the other good characters in this game mode. Yep, pretty much it. Sigma, man. You have to be good at Sigma to get value out of him. Oh wait, he's better than Ryan, just by his default. Like if you want to get the max value out of Sig, you have to be good at him. Just aim your orbs at the choke. Treat it like Junkrat spam. Build your fluxes, click your shift on the big... See, anything with defense matrix is automatically a decent character in this game mode because defense matrices are easy. You don't have to manage them. You just have to say, hey, that does the most damage. Click shift. Unless it's Zarya, then you die. And a lot of times as Zarya, you get to kill the Sigma because he does that. And he thinks he can prevent the damage. People are going to burn your shield. That's fine. Just throw it out. Like, that's fine. Let it be burned. If you're not a tank player, you don't understand. Shields are meant to be... If they're breaking the shield, you're winning. You're getting value. That's the point. Like, you know, pull it back when it's 1 HP and let it regen. But you're fine. Yeah, look to support your teammates. You have a pretty good HP pool. You don't want to go face tank a Rhine. You want to stay at your distance. But yeah. Sojourn. Your E gets more value than like Widow. Here, see, you might notice that these characters, outside of like Echo, are like, they're pretty old characters because they don't have power creep in them. You see the difference between Widowmaker and Sojourn is Widowmaker gets to have her one shot at all times. Sojourn doesn't have her one shot at all times from a balance perspective, and so they get to give her the best movement cooldown in the game. They get to give her an AoE damage orb. You know what I'm saying? That used to slow. You know, like they power crept the frick out of her compared to Widow. But she still has that one-shot capabilities. So, yeah. She's like right here. I don't know. She's not as good as Ashe. She's okay. Just click E. You'll build overclock and do nothing with it, but they'll be scared for 20 seconds. JQ. JQ, you have to be good at JQ to get value out of. Low key. Just click but I'm gonna teach you how to be good at. If you've never played if you know how to play JQ and you know how to actually play that way. Play correctly. If you don't know how to play JQ, here's how this character works. You're gonna tell your team, I'm going to amp and we're going to walk in. You amp and you walk in. And you look for the biggest axe swing on the most people that you can, and you might win. That you just might win that fight because everybody on your team became a semi-tank for a second and had speed boost and was walking in. Yeah, and if you hit your swing, you're gonna get lots of bleeds, and bleeds are how you stay alive as this character. That's how you tank. You do have a low HP pool in this game mode. You're probably gonna die if you're not very good at her. She's probably the worst tank outside of these two. Like, she's the worst playable tank, if that makes sense. Unless you're good at her, and then... Or, here's the other thing. She's Lucio, but without the downsides. Okay? Think about it like that. She's Lucio. If you had, like, remember how I said Lucio doesn't really, like, do Lucio in this game mode? You get to do Lucio in this game mode as Junker Queen. You get to click shift and walk in, like I just said. Yeah. Okay, Kiri is she's in strong. She's probably a high strong. Easy to hit heals, easy evasion, cleanse negates antis. Antis win the game, thus cleanse wins the game. Thoughts? The problem with her compared to like Ana is you're not going to be able to do damage, right? You're not going to be able to make plays. In this game mode, unless you get the perfect comps, like you're looking to, and she doesn't deal as much healing as these other good characters. So yeah. Yep, in this game mode, if you know how to play her, she's very good. If not, she's strong. Just hold right click, build Kitsune. Kitsune wins games. Okay, so Weaver belongs right beneath Mercy. Here's why. Mercy undoes kills. So you have to be like, they can die and then you can undo their mistake. Weaver can't do that. However, you can still undo their mistake. You can still undo it. You can be like, I have grip, yoinkies, pull him in. The only time that Winston is playable as a top 500 Winston player is when I have a Life Weaver on my team. When they can pull me. Otherwise, I die. You know? I pop like a grape. Weaver's very good. You get to undo somebody dying. You're easy to hit heals. You're going to build tree. You can't die. If you wait to be dealt 50 something, 75 something damage, and then you dash, you get that health back. You have 225 HP already, some of which is shield. It's going to start the support passive on top of that, on top of everything, on top of your shield regenning. Like, you can't die. If you don't get insta-killed as Weaver, you live forever. You get your grips. You get to undo people dying, essentially. And you have the easiest maximum output healing in the game. Low-key, there are times when if I don't have like a tank, here's why I'm putting Weaver above. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Yeah, this makes more sense. Supports are all above tanks. Here's why. If you have supports, the game is winnable. If you don't have supports, the game is not winnable. If you have tanks, the game is probably winnable. Unless you don't have supports, they're contingent, right? Like, tanks dominate and are very good. You want to stay alive as long as you can as them. You can't win without supports. Like, you just can't. If they have supports and you don't, you lose. Unless you're, like, outskilling them hard and taking no damage. And your whole team goes and gets health packs and doesn't all go to the 1 mega that everybody knows where it's at. You know what I'm saying? And even then, you lose that next fight. Because they get to re-roll characters. Right? Yeah. Supports are above tanks. Tanks are very good, all things considered, though. Wait. Okay, Loki. Hold up. No, this is how it is. Yeah. Supports, and this, and that. The rest of the tier list, not so much, right? Because the supports aren't going to deal as much healing, right? So, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're not as impactful. Okay, Alari, let's put her... Okay, I know what I just said, but Alari's a DPS. Alari's very good. But you can't solo heal Alari very well in this game mode. So she kind of belongs like where Brig is, honestly. But she can 2-tap things. And it's a very, like, it's hit scan. Here's the thing, right? It's hit scan, but I think it's got a big, like, margin of error. Like, bigger than Cass. In my testing, in my games, it feels like sometimes I just be getting headshots that I don't deserve, right? It feels like I'd be getting body shots that I don't deserve. Like, I feel like I miss them sometimes, and it still gives me the damage. So, that being said, she's like bottom of S tier. Let's put her at the top of A tier, actually. Because I'd rather have her, like, she does everything in the same way that BAP does, just worse. That is, yep. And that's the tier list. Yeah. If you have any questions, any other things you want talked about, any suggestions on how I could improve my videos, yeah, go ahead, hit subscribe. I'm going to be streaming Top 500 Mystery Heroes on YouTube, so you'll already be subscribed. Come check it out. It's fun. It's more fun than, in my opinion, the current meta. It's at least the horse meta. I like playing Czar, but Czar metas aren't it, man. It's hard, man. I love Czar. She's like one of my favorite characters. But Czar metas just aren't it. They're always so like denial based. I don't like that gameplay. I like proactive gameplay like Winston. But Czar's fun because you get to just walk in and be a damage character. Anyway, GG's. That's all I have for today.